Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Ranking Member Jordan. I would like to offer an ANS to the No President is Above the Law Act sponsored by Chairman Nadler. How many times and in how many ways can my colleagues on the left try and attack President Trump without merit? Their intentions to do everything possible to take down the president were apparent the day Donald Trump was elected. They started with Russia, moved on to Ukraine, and when their impeachment efforts failed, they decided they would have to satisfy their collusion delusion by trying to create new opportunities to attack the president. When does this end? The Democrats continue these meritless attacks on the president and assert without evidence that President Trump has committed crimes. But time and time again, they still found no collusion, no obstruction, and absolutely no evidence of criminal activity. Their disdain for President Trump knows no bounds, and it showed with their sham impeachment, and it is showing again with this sham bill. No matter how many rules the Democrats want to break or change, it will never change the fact that President Trump has not broken any laws. This amendment would level the playing field by going further to include vice presidents. Former Vice President Biden would not be excluded from this, as it falls within the 5-year federal statute of limitation. From the very beginning, Democrats were intent on giving Joe Biden a pass and hold him to a far different standard than President Trump. They've excused bad behavior, brushed aside whatever happened with Hunter Biden and Burisma, and silenced any opposition or questions about his conduct. We have glossed over the fact that Hunter Biden joined the board of directors at Burisma in early 2014, despite having essentially zero experience in corporate government, and was receiving $83,000 a month. And the Democrats want us to forget that during this time, Hunter's father, the vice president, Biden, was in charge of diplomatic efforts with the Ukraine, and the founder of Burisma was being probed for money laundering by the United Kingdom. They want us to ignore all of this, despite that during the failed impeachment of President Trump, several witnesses spoke about this conflict of interest and testified that it was improper. This includes Fiona Hill, a senior director of the National Security Council, who testified that there appeared to be a conflict of interest with Hunter Biden serving on the board of Burisma. George Kent, Deputy Assistant Secretary of State, testified that he went so far as to raise these concerns directly with the Vice President's staff in early February 2015. And finally, Ambassador Yovanovitch testified that she was prepared by the State Department to answer questions concerning Hunter Biden and Burisma during her preparation for Senate confirmation. And yet, despite all of this, the Democrats are still pushing this bill to continue to attack President Trump for political purposes. We have wasted countless hours and countless taxpayer dollars on this witch hunt because my colleagues on the left will still not even accept the outcome of the 2016 election. Enough is enough, and it's time to hold Joe Biden and the Democrats to the same standard as President Trump. I yield back.